Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Rebecca. I'm a dietetic intern at Texas State University and I have my master's in human nutrition. And today I'm going to be talking to you about eosinophilic esophagitis. So if you're here joining me for this educational session, you're either a parent or a caregiver to a child that was recently diagnosed with EOE. So it's my hope by attending this session that I'm able to provide you with some tools and knowledge that allows you to manage and navigate this disease and improve the quality of life for your child. So by the end of this presentation, I hope you're able to identify 5 symptoms associated with EOE, identify the 6 major food allergens, and also understand the differences between the 3 types of elimination diets. So I'm just going to briefly go over what EOE is, talk about the dietary management through elimination diets, and also provide you with some tips and examples for feeding your child with EOE. So what is EOE and what causes EOE? So EOE is a disease that affects the digestive system, and it's actually characterized by inflammation in the esophagus, which is the tube that runs from the mouth to the stomach. And this is due to increased eosinophils. And so eosinophils are a white blood cell that are part of our immune systems and allow our bodies to fight certain infections. And so the cause of the increase in eosinophils is unknown, but research shows that this may be related to food or environmental allergens. And so I'm going to be referring to this as food triggers. So these food triggers can cause an array of symptoms, including growth failure, feeding refusal, vomiting or reflux, chest pain, difficulty swallowing, food impaction, which is actually where the food gets stuck, or prolonged chewing in adults. And so really what we're going to want to do is manage these symptoms so that they subside and your child has a better quality of life. So EOE is actually going to be diagnosed by a gastroenterologist, and they are going to perform an upper endoscopy where they take a sample of the esophagus and they see how many eosinophils are within that sample. And so some treatments for EOE include certain medications such as acid suppressors or topical steroids, but really I'm going to be focusing on the dietary management aspect. And so we manage EOE through elimination diets. And so these elimination diets include elemental formulas, empiric dietary elimination, and also test-directed dietary modification. And so elemental formulas are going to be amino acid-based formulas. And so amino acids are the basic building block of protein. And the reason these formulas are safe for your child is because these small amino acids are not going to cause the allergic reaction as protein would in food. And so as you can see to the right, there are many manufacturers that create these elemental formulas, and they're available for different ages. So if your child is an infant or if they are a toddler, there will be an elemental formula that will best fit your child's needs. And then we have the empirical elimination diet. And in the empirical elimination diet, we are going to remove these 6 major food allergens that are known to cause EOE symptoms or be food triggers. So the 6 food elimination diet is going to be the most common empirical elimination diet. And so this is going to remove peanuts and tree nuts, which is 1, fish and shellfish, which is 2, milk, eggs, wheat, soy. And so some other elimination diets are not going to be as restrictive. And what I mean by that is that you may remove one or more of the top 6 allergens. So you could remove wheat and see if your symptoms subside. You could remove soy and see if symptoms subside instead of removing all 6 at once. And if you speak with your registered dietitian or your doctor and determine if this would be an option for you. And then we have the test-directed dietary modification. So this test actually removes foods from the diet based on the results from a skin prick or atrophy patch test. And so this is going to be conducted by an allergist. This is not as effective, research shows, at diminishing symptoms. And it's also not considered a diagnostic tool for identifying food triggers. Therefore, the elemental formula and the empiric diet elimination is going to be the best options for your child with EOE. And so I wanted to provide you also with a list of some non-nutritive sweets for children that are on a strict elemental diet. These are acceptable. And they can be a way that your child incorporates something fun into their diet. So Fun Dip, rock candy, these might be allowed for your child. And then some other tips to increase the acceptance of these elemental formulas in your child's diet include using fun glasses or lids to put the formula in. It's also important to create a feeding schedule so your child knows when they're going to be eating this elemental formula. You can also change the texture of the formula by putting ice cubes and blending it to make a shake. And you can also experiment with flavors that the manufacturer offers, so chocolate or vanilla. And we also have some tips for empirical elimination diet. So it's going to be imperative and really important that you know how to read a nutrition label. And this is because you need to be able to identify those 6 allergens within food. And so if you are identifying allergens on the food label, there are 2 ways that we can do this. We can look at the ingredient panel, which to the right you can see, we see wheat, peanuts, soy, or you can look at the precautionary allergen label at the bottom, which says contains wheat, almond, peanuts. And so each product is going to have something that looks similar to this. So you can either identify it through the ingredient list or the precautionary allergen label. It's also important to keep in mind that the label may say made in a factory where peanuts, where a product contains peanuts, and this is because of cross-contamination. So that's also something to be aware of. It also might be a good idea to keep your child's known food allergens on a list. Also to allow extra time at the grocery store so that you have time to read these nutrition fact labels and determine what products you can buy. Also asking for a manager at a restaurant so that you can tell them that your child has a food allergy. And also planning for social outings if you know you're going somewhere that has foods that are not going to fit your child's dietary needs, either packing them something or eating at home prior to the event. And so I just wanted to provide you with some ideas for breakfast and lunch, and then also we have dinner and snacks on the next slide. So as you can see, as with breakfast, there's gluten-free options, rice bread. There's also for lunch, beans and rice or corn tortillas. And then for dinner, we have lentils. You could make homemade turkey meatballs with gluten-free pasta. And then for snacks, we have hummus with veggies or corn chips and a smoothie made with milk alternatives. So this is just to show you that although your child would be on a food elimination diet, there are many ways that your child can still have a diet high in variety. And so in conclusion, EOE is a disease that's manageable through diet therapy. And if needed, your child may consume elemental formulas for either supplemental nutrition or total nutrition. And then an empirical elimination diet will help eliminate food triggers and improve symptoms without being as restrictive. So as always, you would want to consult with your RD or your doctor to determine which of these is going to be best for your child. Here are some more resources. And of course, if you have any questions, please reach out to me and I'll be more than happy to help you. Thank you.